What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Hey. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. We are going to get to the things of the things. Hey, everybody coming in. Hi to the people. Hi to the people. All right. Oh, I knew what I wanted to do. Tag on it. All right. You know how you forgetting something and you realize what you forgot? I knew what I wanted to do. All right. So, hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everybody is well. We're going to get into a couple of things today. Both of them are Bravo related. Now, we know that Bravo has been under fire these last couple of months, I guess. We know we had the whole article that was written about the Bravo reckoning. We know we had Bethany Frankel and her, her battle with Bravo, whatever. No, we have Nene. And it seemed like at one point in time, Nene and Bethany were going to link up and it was going to be this whole thing. We thought that when that article came out, there was going to be this whole thing. And we really haven't heard a whole lot more about it. We do know that in the article spoke of, they spoke of a Bravo reckoning as it relates to, in the article, they spoke to something that we're going to talk about in the second story we're going to cover, which is the Carolyn Manzo story. But they talked about how, a lot of the housewives talked about how they, liquor was a thing, how production encouraged them to drink, how there's always plenty of liquor, even if it's not always plenty of food. All of these things as a way to try to push the agenda, I guess, of creating the best moments, the best stories, right? So we had probably the biggest controversy this season, this Bravo, I don't know if the word is this season, you know what I'm saying, y'all, but this whole Bravo thing, probably one of the biggest controversies, which is probably one of the best Bravo stories of this last season, is the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Monica Garcia. Now, we can debate a lot of things. I don't think that most people, I can't say everybody, but I don't think that most people would debate the fact that Monica did a great job this season. Now, you may walk away not liking Monica. You may walk away thinking Monica, should have been fired or deserved to be fired. But I definitely think that most of us believe that Monica, she did what needed to be done. You know what I mean? She did her job. She did what she was hired to do. We get to the end of the season. Well, we get to the reunion. Hold on, yeah. I'm trying to do two things at once. We actually get to the reunion, and what we find out at the reunion is that I don't know why I can always find what I'm not looking for. Oh, is this it right here? Yep, that's it right there. Boom. Okay. So, at the reunion, we found out that Monica accused production of knowing about who she really was. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, we know that there was a whole thing where there was a, reality Von Teese. Monica was one of, because like I said, I've told y'all before, and I'm going to keep saying, I do not believe that Monica was the only person. I believe when Monica says it was a group of them that got together. So Monica was one of the reality Von Teese people. I'm here, Cajun. I'm here. I was distracted because I was trying to do something, but I'm here now. We here. The reality Von Teese, right? And so with that being said, see, now I did get distracted. Monica is saying that she told production knew exactly who she was. We know that there was a cease and desist from Jen Shaw that had Monica's name listed as reality Von Teese. And I told you guys that my belief is that production didn't know who Monica was. That's what I believe, y'all. Now, ain't nobody, again, when I believe it, I believe it. That's how I believe. Now, other people can believe something different. Other people can feel differently. But I personally believe that that production knew that Monica was a reality Vonti's. Okay. Monica has also made a couple of other claims about production. One of the things that she said was that that production told her to lie about being in Meredith's store for the first time. So again, if you believe one lie, you kind of have to believe the other one. If you believe one, you kind of have to believe them both. Because what I mean by that is, if Monica wasn't reality Vonti's, if Monica had, why would they want her to lie about being in Meredith's store? To me, that's a stupid lie. Because I didn't understand why she would lie. It was so easy to prove. Like, now that, I just don't understand why they would tell her to lie when it was so easy to prove. They literally showed video last season of Monica in the store. Now, I get it. Her hair was blonde then. I get it. She had on a mask, so all we saw were her eyes. But at the end of the day, we literally saw her in the store. So to me, that was a stupid lie. And I don't know who I believe. I don't know if I believe Monica or production on that one. I'm going to be honest with you, because that was a dumb lie. I do think Monica lied. I think that was, I don't know. I think that was on her own lie. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that was on her own lie. But that's just me, because it doesn't make sense. And y'all know I'm hard. It's hard for me to wrap my brain around stuff that don't make sense. But I do believe Monica when she says that production. Now, that's just my opinion. Now, do I think that everybody at Bravo knew? Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I found an article, and they also are saying now, Bravo very rarely says that somebody is fired. They like to use the word take a break. They don't like to use the word canceled. They say hiatus. For example, the Real Housewives of Miami was never officially canceled. They were just on hiatus for 6 years. Same thing they're doing to the Real Housewives of Atlanta right now. They haven't canceled Atlanta, but Atlanta hasn't filmed in a year. If last season was filmed, the reunion was September. We're almost at February, which means that a lot of those scenes that we saw in the last season, we know that it overlapped over Christmas. We know that. So the Real Housewives of Atlanta has not filmed. Same thing with the Real Housewives of Dallas. They have not canceled the Real Housewives of Dallas. It is just on hiatus. So for whatever reason, so when people were saying, "Oh well, Bravo said that Monica's just on pause. They haven't fired her." Bravo never, I would say never is a strong word. Bravo very rarely uses the term fire. It has to be some egregious situation when they'll say, "Oh, we fired you," right? So with that being said, they said they haven't canceled Southern Charm New Orleans, but they haven't gotten it right. But it's been about 5 years since we've seen Southern Charm New Orleans, right? They don't do it. So when people say, "Oh, Monica wasn't fired, she was just put on pause," child, that's their lie. And I think I'm sure there's a legal reason why they use those terms. I don't know. But whatever it is, let's not get caught up in that. Monica ain't coming back next season. Now, do I think they wanted to bring Monica back? Absolutely. I mean, if you were production, wouldn't you? Monica absolutely saved this show. I don't think, again, you don't have to like Monica, but I think you have to understand, you have to, I don't want to say have to, because you ain't got to do nothing. But most of us understand. Most of us understand that Monica saved this season, because a lot of us, myself included, was like, okay, what they going to be giving? For as much as we did not like Jen Shaw for all of the definitely things how we felt about Jen Shaw, which, generally speaking, was warranted. These things were warranted. She definitely brought the spark, and Mary Cosby brought the comedy and brought a little of that quirkiness. So, when we didn't know we were going to get Mary back part-time, and we knew we weren't getting Jen back, it was kind of like, do we really have to listen to a whole season of Whitney whining and Lisa looking in the mirror and Meredith, dragging out her words, and Heather flirting with all the black men? Like, is that what we're going to look at for a whole 15 episodes? Because I wasn't looking forward to it. Okay. So with all of that being said, with all of those things being said, we come back around, boop, 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 and we come back around to where we are. I'm not saying fired or canceled most likely protects NBC from legal liability. Maybe, Marnie. I'm sure there's a legal reason why they use that terminology. Like, I'm absolutely sure there's some sort of connection there, Maybe it's dealing with contracts. Maybe if you fire somebody and you bring them back, maybe there's a negotiation. I don't know. I'm sure that if I talk to somebody that's in employment law or something like that, they'll be able to explain it to me. But I'm sure there's a reason, because they just don't do it. Very seldom. Like I said, very, very, like, I've only heard them use like somebody was fired when it's something egregious, like Jenny when they found all of her racist tweets and stuff over on Facebook. I mean, that was egregious. You know what I mean? So when it's something that egregious, then yeah, they're quick to be like, fired. But just somebody they're not bringing back, we're going to put you on pause. So we're going to go through a few things today, you guys. So for the first one, I'm going to show you this TikTok that I found. And then, right, Kelly Dodd, right. I'm going to show you this TikTok that I found scrolling through. And then we're going to look at this article that Monica did an interview. Now, somebody said, who did she do the interview with? She did the interview with a website called The Cut for the New York. It's under the umbrella of the New Yorker, of New York. Is it the New Yorker or New York? But it's called The Cut. So we're going to read through that. It's not that extensive, but, we're going to read through that. But let's look at this. Oh, shoot. What did I do? Let's look at this TikTok first. I done closed out my mail. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. I have the other stuff open, but the TikTok, for whatever reason, I closed it out. I probably hit the button by accident. Now, this TikTok addresses Monica's claim that production knew. So you're going to hear everybody's 2 cents on whether they knew or not. Sorry about that. When I worked at PBS, if a person got fired, it was said the person left to pursue creative endeavors. Child, yes. Thank you, Citizen Jane. She said, I hope you feel better. I just don't know what's going on. I can't say feeling better, feeling worse, child. I just don't know. What did I say? Justice for who? What did I say just now? Let me add this video clip. Not justice for oh Lord. You just missed my whole introduction, Busy. You missed my whole introduction. What's up, Patches? Hey, boo. Ain't nobody doing this with you. Busy. All right. Okay. Let's look at this. Hold on. Oh boy. Video file. Okay, there we go. Make sure I got the right one. All right.
Von Teese was, and effectively planted her in order to create drama. It felt really satisfying to have Andy look us in the eyes and tell us that they did not know and that they never would have hired her had they known. We never could have changed the trajectory of that trip, of that finale dinner, had Monica been a plant, because she would have been protected from it.
No one knew this at
Honestly, did Bravo know?
No.
She's saying that she production knew.
I had a reaction to Monica saying to me that production knew.
The first time I interviewed, I talked about it in my home with production. That this was their plan.
You told them in casting?
Yeah, the first time.
If you said, I run a burner account, we wouldn't have cast you.
Okay.
We obviously knew that she had worked for Jen Shah, that she had turned on Jen Shah, and we obviously thought that that was interesting and noteworthy.
If we would have known about Reality Von Tease, we would have planted seeds earlier on in the episode so that it would have paid off and made much more sense when you found out who and what it was. So Lori called me.
Now, this is one of the producers. Remember, the Real Housewives shows they don't have the same production company. They're independent production companies that contract with Bravo to do these shows. So this is one of the producers. Notice she didn't say they would not have hired her. Notice they said we just would have edited the show differently, which I thought was interesting when I saw this. She didn't say we wouldn't have hired her. They just said we would have produced the show differently. Interesting.
And she's like, hey, there's this, big thing that Heather has uncovered. Monica is Reality Von Tease. And I was like, what is, I don't know what that is.
Someone who was secretly running this account about the show. It's the ultimate fourth wall break, isn't it?
Our big concern was that, is this going to matter for viewers? Like, it's great in hindsight, right? It was an amazing finale, but we did not know that as it was even uncovered. Like, we didn't know that this was going to even matter to the women in the way that it did.
Yeah.
The notion that we always knew is it's very Monday morning quarter.
Now, I find that to be disingenuous. I find that to be disingenuous for you to say that you didn't know it would matter, and you didn't know it would matter to the women the way that it did. What did you think they were going to think? This is granted, the page was geared towards Jen Shah, but it spoke about all of them, and it definitely said some nasty things about them, regardless of whether they said, well, we were just repeating what Jen Shah said. It doesn't matter. You repeated some nasty things. So I find that to be disingenuous that you would think that this wouldn't be a big deal and you didn't think that the women would care. So I'm telling you, I'm side-eyeing production. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. I'm side-eyeing production.
Back because we didn't even know that this was going to make sense once the episode came together. We were very nervous that it was going to land with audiences in as big of an impact as it landed with the ladies.
The day of the finale, they were very much like, that was one of the first things they said to me. Like, did you know? You know what I mean? And no, we didn't. We really didn't. And I think it wasn't really offensive or hurtful. I feel like it was kind of like, I would ask the same question.
The same thing, yeah.
100%.
The number one thing that Lori and I have, you have to have the trust of your cast. And we would never jeopardize the trust of the cast, nor would the network, nor would Andy, especially over something so seemingly silly and not knowing that it's going to pay off. We just would never do that, especially with the entire cast. I mean, you're really blowing up your relationship with everybody.
It would have been a very different show.
A very different show. And for us, the worst thing that can happen is a housewife who is one and done. Like, from a business standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint, we have invested a lot in any housewife on their first season.
So I know there were a couple of pauses and skips in there. Y'all want me to play it again all the way through so you can just see it? I'm going to play it one more time. I'm going to just let it play from the beginning so you guys can just sort of see it. And I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to let it play from the beginning to end.
When Lisa and I talked to Andy about if production had known, if Bravo and production had known who Reality Von Teese was and effectively planted her in order to create drama, it felt really satisfying to have Andy look us in the eyes and tell us that they did not know and that they never would have hired her had they known. We never could have changed the trajectory of that trip, of that finale dinner, had Monica been a plant, because she would have been protected from it.
No one knew this at
Honestly, did Bravo know?
no.
She's saying that she production knew.
I had a greater reaction to Monica saying to me that production knew.
The first time I interviewed, I talked about it in my home with projection. That this was
You
their
told
plan.
them in casting?
Yeah, the first time.
If you said, I run a
And it doesn't
burner
matter,
account, we wouldn't have cast you.
Okay.
We obviously knew that she had worked for Jen Shah, that she had turned on Jen Shah, and we obviously thought that that was interesting and noteworthy.
If we would have known about Reality Von Teese, we would have planted seeds earlier on in the episode so that it would have paid off and made much more sense when you found out who and what it was. So Lori called me and she's like, hey, there's this, big thing that Heather has uncovered. Monica is Reality Von Teese. And I was like, what is, I don't know what that is.
Someone who was secretly running this account about the show. It's the ultimate fourth wall break.
Our big concern was that, is this going to matter for viewers? Like, it's great in hindsight, right? It was an amazing finale. But we did not know that as it was even uncovered. Like, we didn't know that this was going to even matter to the women in the way that it did.
Yeah.
The notion that we always knew is it's very Monday morning quarterback, because we didn't even know that this was going to make sense once the episode came together. We were very nervous that it was going to land with audiences in as big of an impact as it landed with the ladies.
The day of the finale, they were very much like, that was one of the first things they said to me. Like, did you know? You know what I mean? And no. We didn't. We really didn't. And I think it wasn't really offensive or hurtful. I feel like it was kind of like I would ask the same question.
Same thing, yeah.
100%.
The number one thing that Lori and I have, you have to have the trust of your cast. And we would never jeopardize the trust of the cast, nor would the network, nor would Andy, especially over something so seemingly silly and not knowing that it's going to pay off. We just would never do that, especially with the entire cast. I mean, you're really blowing up your relationship with everybody.
It would have been a very different show.
Been a very different show. And for us, the worst thing that can happen is a housewife who is one and done. Like, from a business standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint, we have invested a lot in any housewife on their first season.
Okay, so I was reading the chat while it was playing the second time. So let me just address a couple of things. And this is just my point of view. There's a difference. Kay just said, what's the big deal? Candy does speak on it. We find out the information anyway, so why does it matter? So here's a couple of things, and this is my opinion about it. There's a difference between a Dr. Heavenly or Candy that goes onto their platform, speaks on what we saw on the show, and maybe give a little tea and give an opinion. People don't like what Dr. Heavenly has to say because Dr. Heavenly is very opinionated, and Dr. Heavenly, her mouth is real lethal. People don't like what Candy has to say because Candy uses her platform to defend herself, to clear things up, yada, yada, yada. Number one, they are not allowed to review the show before it airs. So the show has to air, and then they can speak on what we see. Number two, we know who they are. The problem with Monica, in my opinion, is that this was a troll account that put out a lot of rumors and fake information about the ladies, or unfounded, because I can't say it's all fake, but unfounded information about the ladies. And it pushed forward a lot of rumors, and it trolled them online. Now, I saw somebody else say, well, hey, other housewives feed the blogs. and other housewives have done it. Know that other housewives have fed the blogs. They put information. We saw the whole thing that happened on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with Lisa Vanderpump. That was the whole big deal with that because they were accusing her of feeding information to the blogs, which I still think she did. But neither here nor there. We know Teresa's been accused of it. I mean, all sorts. We know that happens. Again, those people that are running those blogs, they weren't hired to be a housewife under false pretenses. You see what I'm saying? So again, the big deal for me, and I think if I were Heather or Lisa, or I should say that if I was one of them, if I were on the show, the big deal for me would be you didn't let the hen you didn't let the coyote in the hen house. You see what I'm saying? This is a woman that has been spreading false information or allegedly false information. And now she's sitting at the table with me so she can get even more information and send it out. Monica was stalking these women, driving past their houses. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's where the difference is. Now, I know for some people, they might not see it as a difference. And I respect that. I respect that opinion. But for me, that's where I see the difference is. So my opinion, and then we're going to get into this article a little bit. My opinion is that I believe that production knew, because even in that clip, they don't understand what the big deal is. And see, whenever somebody doesn't understand what the big deal is, that always makes me feel like, well, then you probably did it. Because they sound like they don't understand what the problem is. And even that part at the end where she was like, the fox in the hen house. Okay, I said coyote. Fox, thank you, Fisher. I said the fox. I mean the coyote. But when she says, well, we invest in housewives and the worst thing we can have is a one and done housewife. You're right. The worst you can have is a one and done housewife. But you didn't think Monica was going to be one and done. Number one, you didn't think it was going to come out. They found out about it. Nobody told them. That wasn't part of a storyline. So you didn't think it was going to come out, number one. Number two, you didn't think it was going to cost Monica her job. Even Andy didn't think, because again, I said this last week when we were talking about the reunion, Andy gave Monica every opportunity to make things right because they didn't want to fire her. They knew what they had in Monica. They knew that Monica was good for the show, Monica was good for ratings, and that Monica was a star. And I believe that. Whether you like Monica or not, baby, Monica is a good-ass housewife. She understands the assignment. They did not want to fire her. And they did not think it was going to come to that. They did not anticipate that those women were going to rally that way and that they were going to straight up come at Monica and they were going to ask Monica to be banished. They didn't expect that. And you can tell they didn't expect it in that clip when they were like, I mean, we didn't think it was going to be this big of a deal. We didn't think that the women would be this upset. So that sounds to me like you knew, you weighed the pros and cons and you thought it would be great TV and it wouldn't be an issue. That's what I think. That's what I think. So again, to me, there's a difference between what Monica did and what some of these housewives do. But that's my opinion. I mean, do. But that's just my opinion. Okay. So there's that. Her doing all of that helps them, but now they're acting flabbergasted by it. But I disagree. Here's the thing. Promoting the show, sure. Throwing around behind the scenes stuff, okay, maybe. But Reality Von Teese was putting out some really nasty stuff about those women. They talked about Heather and her marriage and her children. They talked about Whitney and her husband being swingers. Now, whether that's true or not, don't know. But I'm certainly sure that's not something that, they wanted on the block. Like, they put private, personal stuff out about those women that may or may not have been true. You see what I'm saying? And that's so again, everybody ain't gonna see it, and that's fine. That's fine. You said Andy's statement told you he knew. I don't know. But and let's be clear, if we look at the history of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, this production company doesn't give me faith that they really do vet these people a whole lot. I mean, look at some of the women they've had on the show. We got Mary Cosby, who married her granddaddy. We have Angie, not Angie K, but the other Angie. There was something with her, child. I don't remember now. We got Jenny Wynn, who's a straight up racist, and it's all over the internet. And it wasn't hard to find. Like, it was literally, you put her name in and you go to her Facebook page and it was right there. People didn't have to do no deep research. We had Whitney's best friend, the one that passed away, was literally at January 6th, was at the Capitol on January 6th, storming the Capitol, and they had her on the show trying to make her a housewife. Like Jen Shaw, who was already under investigation when the show started, was already under investigation when the show started. So, like, this production company doesn't give me, we do our due diligence when we try to hire these people. I'm just saying. And again, either you don't look for it or you don't care. Either you don't look for it or you don't care. So let's get into this article that Monica, and again, it's not an in-depth, it's not an in-depth situation, but I saw it and I said, let's read through it. Okay, let's read through it. Share the screen, share the screen. Xavier said, I told you they weren't confident. Cajun said, I agree with you, but I just think it's the same thing as what Giselle did to Chris, Portia, and Phaedra versus Candy, and the list goes on. Yeah, but the difference is in the Portia, and the difference is in the Giselle versus Chris, the cast didn't rally. I agree, but the cast didn't rally and say Giselle needs to go because that was a bridge too far. And then the Portia, Phaedra, Candy, Phaedra got fired. Like, Phaedra got fired. So, I mean, there was a consequence. All right, let's look at this article. Okay. So it's from The Cut. Oh, let's say the story is only free for a limited time. So, child, let's hurry up and read it, honey. Let's hurry up and read it, honey, before they block it, child. Before they block it. Okay. Okay. The Real Housewives, Monica Garcia, set the Bravo-verse on fire. And again, like I told you guys before, expect to see Monica again. Monica Garcia will be back on reality TV. She's going to be on some sort of competition show. She's going to be on Big Brother or The Amazing Race or something like that. She might be on The Bachelor. We will see Monica Garcia again. She might be on the next season of Ultimate Girls Trip. Monica will be back. Anyway. She sparked some of Housewives' most hyped drama. Did her star burn too bright, too fast? Okay, I am not going to read through all of this, but this basically is giving you the background on the show and who Monica is. I'm going to read through some of it, but I'm not reading this word for word, okay? It's about 4 paragraphs. What makes someone a villain? It's a question that permeates most of Bravo's reality shows, where conflict and resolution is a gladiatorial contest. See, they be trying to use these big words, chat. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City newbie and one-hit wonder Monica Garcia was dramatically revealed. Receipts, proof, timelines, screenshots, fucking everything to be involved in reality Von Teese, an anonymous gossip Instagram account. Garcia has claimed as a way to publicly shame former cast member Jen Shaw for mistreating her staff in 2021 and began posting leaked footage of Shaw, who we saw that footage of her yelling at the guy that made her dress, but it soon expanded, spreading malicious gossip about Garcia's current co-stars. Okay. When Garcia and I talked hours before the third and final part of the reunion aired on Bravo, she told me she always knew her involvement would come out. But for the rest of us, the big reveal was jaw-dropping reality TV. All right. At the start of the season, Shaw's shadow loomed over the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Garcia was introduced as a witness for the FBI's case against her. At first, she seemed like an open book. She spoke about the affair she had with her brother-in-law. She spoke about getting excommunicated from the Mormon church, her struggles of being a single mom. In the midst of that divorce, she seemed like an endearing, plucky underdog, someone who had little to lose, who was going to shake things up and use the show to build a better life for herself. All right. Garcia became tearful about her anxieties when hanging out with the wealthy group of ladies, buying, we remember that episode where she bought the Louis Vuitton bag to try to fit in with the ladies' child. Fans also watched Garcia's fractious relationship with her mother. Garcia recalled being, okay, then they go into her story. Try to read through this whole story about her mother, her and her mother. Watching the show, there is a constant conflict between Garcia's two most dominant sides. There is the vulnerable Monica, who seems endearing and a little fragile, and then there's angry Monica, who in the heat of the moment can say some truly horrible things to people. But Bermuda introduced us to a third character, a Monica who has kept secrets, schemed, and snatched her opening credit snowflake under false pretenses. A version of her, in the eyes of her co-stars at least, is a villain who can't be trusted. Monica has leaned into her villain role with the varying intensity on social media. She said that she couldn't wait for fans to watch the finale, in which her online alter ego was unmasked. She also bragged about how she infiltrated a group of elitists. But during our conversation and at the reunion, she has seemed less comfortable with it, often making the case that lies her castmates have told, like Heather Gay finally admitting to lying about Jen Shah giving her the black eye, are much worse. The reunion might not have delivered the reconciliation fans hoped for, but it was perhaps a reminder of how the line between villain and victim can be. Okay. Okay. Read between the lines of a Variety interview with the show's bosses, it seems like the door is being left open to Garcia, a possible pause rather than an outright firing. At this time, the women just need a cooling off period. Lori Gordon, the series showrunner, told Variety. That was one of the ladies we saw in that video. And Andy Cohen, anything can happen, he says, and I love a comeback. So yeah, y'all, the door is open for Monica. It is. I would not be surprised to see Monica back. Not season 5, but season 6, maybe season 7. Wouldn't be surprised. So this is the question and answer part of it. In Bermuda, your co-star Heather Gay, who figured out you were involved with Reality Von Teese, asked you who the real Monica is. At the reunion, Andy asked you the same question. I was wondering what your answer to that is. Did we get to see the real Monica on the show? Monica says, I appreciate you giving me a chance to answer that. You did see a lot of the real Monica during the season. You saw me battling with being new in the group and feeling insecure about that when it came to the purse and trying to fit in with these women. You saw the real Monica when you watched me take all my girls to school and the stress and shuffle of being a single mom. Whitney and I actually had a great moment in Bermuda that wasn't shared on camera. But she was having a rough time with the passing of her friend, and we ended up spending the night together, comforting each other in my bed. I think there were a lot of very real moments throughout the season, and there were a lot of moments that I wish I could have done differently or changed. The Monica you saw was going through so much and trying to find her feet with this group while navigating a divorce, and there's a lot that comes with that. Let me come to the chat and see what you guys are saying. I wouldn't even come back if I were Monica. If you didn't want me back, then don't look for me in the future. Child, Monica want that paycheck. Have you even watched the long-running show Southern Charm? That show? I tried to watch it one season. I couldn't do it. Like I think I watched it for one season. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I watched it that one season, and I couldn't do it. Serious question. Do the people who like Monica on the show want her to lie just to cause chaos for the sake of drama? Is it that interesting? They're going to make me pay another $12. I didn't pay the first $12. That's why I said, let me hurry up and get through this article before they charge me, child. Let's talk about your mother, Linda. You said at the reunion that even before filming, you knew people were going to see some shit about your friend relationship. Why did you decide to bring her on the show? Was there a small part of you that wanted us to see what you've been dealing with? So her response is, my mother is very up and down. We started filming. We were in an okay place. I wanted the opportunity to show my Portuguese side with my grandmother and my mom, and the fact that they literally lived 10 seconds away. But as you saw, it went badly so fast, and that's very, very accurate for how it actually is in real life with her on a daily basis in our relationship. My mother and I have been through a lot, truly hell and back, but I'm actually shocked at how many people are in the same exact situation. I felt alone with my mom, like I was the only person who had a mother like this. The show showed me that there were so many more people who deal with this kind of dynamic, and I think it was very cathartic for me as well as the fans. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I do believe that Monica and her mother have a very dysfunctional relationship, but I also believe that her mother was in on amping it up. Now, that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. I believe the relationship is dysfunctional, but I believe that they hyped up the dysfunction, because there were a couple of scenes that were just so ridiculous to me. And maybe their relationship is just that ridiculous. I don't know. What do you think of the scene between Heather, Whitney, Lisa, Meredith on the beach in Bermuda? Where were you when it was being filmed? I don't know where I was. I'm assuming I was getting ready when all that happened, probably getting dressed and makeup and stuff. For me, watching it back is a very different experience than I'm sure for the fans. I can appreciate that we were making a show and it was incredible television, 100%. But I also have a lot of knowledge and insight as to what was really happening and going on. Watching it back, I definitely was rolling my eyes a lot for sure. When did you know the Reality Von Teese account was going to come out? It didn't seem like it was a complete surprise to you in Bermuda. Her response, oh, I knew it was going to come out 100%. What I wasn't prepared for was why you see I'm so shocked was for my ex-best friend to give them a bunch of other information. I was caught off guard with what my best friend had done, not about Reality Von Teese coming out. Well, girl, what you talking about? They gave them information on Reality Von Teese. What you mean? She gave them information on Reality Von Teese, girl. I suppose the obvious follow-up is why going on a show knowing you had this big dramatic secret that would come out? Good question. I truly did not think it was going to be a big deal, genuinely. This was a bigger deal than Jen getting arrested and going to prison. It's comical in the sense that they are more upset at me about a snark page than they are about someone scamming elderly people out of millions of dollars. This was someone who they chose to stand by, but this is the be all and end all. I was prepared for it to come out. I was prepared to own it because the page was never about them. It was about Jen. They want to say it bullied us for years. First of all, the page was only open for like a year. Second of all, it really was about exposing Jen. Lisa Barlow's hot mic rant was worse than anything we ever said on Von Teese. And here's the reason why Monica isn't coming back next season. She really, truly doesn't feel like she's done anything wrong. And even though on a scale of 1 to 10, you may not think it's a 10, it is a big deal, in my opinion. But that's just me. Let me keep reading. You've been compared to Jen a lot by the cast. What does it feel like to be compared to someone who has hurt you so much, who you dislike so strongly? I feel like it was an easy out. I don't think that's even close to accurate, because if I was really like Jen, these women would not have been treating me the way they were treating me. They let Jen get away with much, much, much worse. The women were scared of Jen, and they are not scared of me. I think it's hilarious to say, oh, she's just like Jen, because if I really was like Jen, you guys would be kissing my ass and be terrified of me, and you're not. Now, there is some truth to that. I do think they were scared of Jen. I do think those women were scared of Jen, and I do think they let Jen get away with a lot of shit. Now, that she ain't lying about. But again, the relationship is different. There's been a lot of discussion about how Jen managed to lure people in and get them to do things for her or behave differently to how they normally would. What was it about her that gave her that power? When you meet Jen, you are very captivated. You are very drawn to her. She makes you feel like you are her best friend right out the gate. She was so much fun. She was so energetic. She had the incredible way of making you feel like you were so important and special to her and that she got you no matter what. You're just completely sucked in, and then you start to see the mask slip off and see what's really going on. I think she got messed up in some serious stuff. She knew what was coming, and I think that ate away at her. It contributed to the volatile person that she became in the end. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Was Jen a motherly figure to you, and what was your relationship like? It's funny you say that because no, she wasn't a motherly figure. If anything, she felt more like a child to everyone who was around her. Everyone had to take care of her and cater to her. Everyone had to monitor her temper tantrums. But reflecting back on the entire relationship, she was a lot like my mom, if it makes sense. It's kind of interesting to have that dynamic where no, I don't feel like she was a mother figure, but she was like my mother. Okay. Okay. You said to Heather that you couldn't understand why she lied about the black eye. Is it frustrating that people can see why she didn't stand up to Jen, but don't seem to understand why you and Jen's staff started an anonymous Instagram account to call her out in a safer way? That's actually a very interesting part for me to watch back. That day was so long and such a blur that I actually have forgotten about that particular moment. Girl, how you forget about Heather saying that Jen was the one that gave her the black eye? Girl, stop it. You ain't forget that. I think it's very telling that for 12 hours, I was completely beaten down by this group, and rightfully so. So I'm absolutely living in my karma right now. I'm ready to move past this chapter of my life. I'm sitting here like, please, karma, do your thing so I can move on. But I thought it was very interesting that I still received zero compassion, zero empathy. And after getting beat up by these women for 12 hours straight, I still am able to relate and feel sympathy for what they went through. At the end of the day, there is humanity in recognizing the fact that we were all put in different situations by Jen that traumatized us, that made us act in ways we normally wouldn't. I'm gonna come back to the chat. Heather lied about the black eye for a whole season and blamed production. Why wasn't she fired? Sonia, I agree. I think I said that last week that I think Heather should be fired. The reason I brought up Southern Charm as the show went on, I saw so many situations that if they were black would have been criticized, and those people clearly aren't rich and they don't pretend. Okay. Yeah, I tried to watch one season and I couldn't. And maybe because I didn't catch it from the beginning and I didn't really know the backstories to all the people. It was during the Roni Rone because my niece was living with me and she watches Southern Charm. And so she was trying to explain to me who the people were and what the backstories were. And I was just like, child. From a viewer perspective, it looked like Andy wanted you to say, I'm sorry for the parts of the account that hurt you. Even if that wasn't the original intention of the account, even if you didn't post them yourself, but we didn't see that from you. Are you sorry? See, that is exactly what Andy wanted. And if she had done that, she might have saved her job. Because let's be clear, they've kept people that the cast hates before. But because that's exactly what Andy wanted. Child, let me read this answer. So this is the thing. I'm sorry that I ever involved myself in this account and that I got myself in this situation. The reason why I did not apologize is because I'm not going to give a fake apology. At that moment, you just said, I did not have it in me to apologize because the women were relentless. I felt they still weren't willing to hear me. But you just said that you are sorry that you got yourself in that situation, girl. You could have just said that. You could have just said that. Even down to the black eye, they said I lied for months. But really, I was just getting to know them. I didn't have existing relationships with them. But Heather lied to their faces, lied to production, lied to investigators, lied to producers, lied to Andy, lied to the fans for over a year. Now, she right about that. She has existing relationships with these people, and I am being completely massacred. You want me to apologize in that moment? I couldn't do that. I didn't have it in me to give a half-ass apology because it's what people wanted to hear. Yes, it's what people wanted to hear. Because it will make me look better in the moment. I want to get to a place where I can actually sit down and have a civil conversation about this and give a genuine apology. But at the reunion, on the stage, in the situation I was in, it would not have been a real apology. So why even say it? Girl, your own words is explaining everything. You said that Heather already had a relationship with these people. That is the reason why they gave Jen grace, because they already had relationships with Jen. That doesn't make it okay, but that is the reason. If I've known you for 5 or 6 years and some shit happens and you tell me I didn't do it, I'm innocent, of course I'm going to give you more grace than I'm going to give somebody off the street that I don't even know like that. Of course I'm going to give you more grace. And that's the situation, Monica. They don't know you, girl. They didn't know nothing about you. The only thing they knew about you was that you used to work for Jen Shah, which was probably another reason why they halfway didn't trust you, because you used to work for Jen Shah. So now you're saying the exact same thing. Well, they let Heather get away with it because Heather had relationships with them. Exactly. And then you say, well, I was sorry, but I'm not going to say I was sorry because that's what they wanted me to say. Now you said that Jim was sounding like a juvenile. That sounds juvenile. You're not going to apologize because they want you to apologize? Girl. We almost done, child. The reunion is about conflict, but also resolution. Do you sympathize that fans, including your fans who want to see you continuing on the show, wanted to see the door of friendship left open, even just a teeny crack? Well, here's the thing. Andy said at the end, is there anything Monica could have said? Before he even finishes the sentence, they're like, no, 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 no. Then Andy asked again, I have to think there's something she could have said. And they were like, no. I'm hoping one day we can get to a point where we can have that happen. And I give an apology that they are willing to accept. It goes both ways, you know. Girl, what they need to apologize to you for? Speaking of Andy, he looked pretty unhappy when you claimed that the show's ratings were bad and it was about to be canceled before you joined. How did you feel about Bravo's bringing up your casting email? Would you take that comment back if you could do it over? You know what? I was actually really sad they allowed that email. They showed that email because that wasn't the email. That was literally 3 sentences of me just asking what I needed to do. You can't apply with 3 sentences. I had to write an entire biography. I had to show several photos. I had to talk about my children, their ages, why I thought I would be good on the show, and what I would bring to the show. I mean, that wasn't the email that was in question. So that was frustrating. But that's not what you said, ma'am. You said you reached out to production and that's what you said to them. You didn't say, when I applied, that is what I said. You said, I found out that I reached out to production and I said, your show sucks, your rating sucks, and you need me. That's what you said. So they showed the email that you originally sent them because you said that is what you said to them originally. You didn't say during the application process, I said ... You said I reached out to them and told them your show sucks, you need me. That's what you said. And I mean, I wouldn't I don't think we're splitting apples and oranges. But if you said, well, they sent the wrong email, but they sent the email that you said you sent, I don't think we're splitting apples and oranges here. Okay. You've been pretty transparent about working hard to get on the show. Why was there a shame attached to that? Even you dragged Angie for it in the first part of the reunion. Why is it shameful to want to be a real housewife? That is such a good question. I wish you would stop answering every question with, that's such a good question. I'm glad you asked me. I wish you would come up with something else to say. But anyway, that is such a good question. Even Dorinda Medley just recently did an interview where it's like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with wanting to be on a show? Heather has admitted several times that she had been a huge housewife fan for years. All of them on there are. All of them continue to be on there. So painting me as a fan trying to get on the show, that's fine. Whatever, but so are they. Girl, did you even understand the question? The question said, you've been pretty transparent about working hard to get on the show. Why is there shame attached to it? Even you dragged Angie for it in the first part of the reunion. Why is it shameful to want to be a housewife? Girl, he asked you, why did you use it as an insult? And your answer was about how they use it as an insult against you. Ma'am, did you? Girl, do you understand the question? Do you understand the question? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Girl. One of the most impressive things about the Bermuda twist, is that it didn't leak beforehand. That was pretty impressive. Jen knew you were involved in the account back in 2021 because she sent you a legal letter. Why do you think she didn't leak you were behind it? Yes, I think that was amazing that everyone was able to keep that under wraps. Jen is Jen, but she is also very smart. You think Jen gives a shit about a troll account over the fact that Heather is going to say that she physically assaulted her? The only thing Jen is going to care about is the fact that Heather is out here telling people that she punched her in the eye. Girl, do you be understanding the question? Do you be understanding the questions these people are asking you? That man asked you. Okay. I guess you answered the question, but girl, I guess. I don't know. We almost done, child. Hold on. How much more we got? Because I can't with her. We almost done. Because, child. Ooh. Do you think Housewives stars are much more involved with these types of fan accounts than they let on? Maybe they're not running them, but feeding them information or interacting with them. Look, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I didn't do anything that other people don't do. Girl, you did. People have burner accounts, housewives, Bravo celebrities, whoever, or they have troll accounts where they're feeding information to blogs and trying to push a narrative. I mean, we are all troll accounts at the end of the day. Does she understand the definition of what a troll account is? People go online and stalk their exes or their best friends. Let me find this guy. What's his name? Anyone with fingers and a mouse has been a troll at one point in time or another. So to make it seem like I'm just this crazy, insane, one-of-a-kind person is absolutely ridiculous because I haven't done anything that other people in this world have not done. Does she know the definition of a troll? Girl. Oh, child, how many more questions we got? I don't like that question. Stupid. I guess we read it, child. Okay, we almost done, y'all. And then we're gonna get to Carolyn Manzo's lawsuit. All right, there been a lot of talk about rebuilding relationships with the women, but how can you rebuild trust with the audience? Do you understand that a lot of fans feel like they can't believe anything you say now? I think that will come with the realization that I'm not the only person in this franchise to lie, to deflect, to deceive. I'm far from that. I'm one, yes, but I'm not the only one. If they can find grace and forgiveness for others and give them another chance, I think that should be awarded to everyone, but it will take time. Why did you lie about visiting Meredith's store before? It seemed like such a shady thing to lie about. Okay, I said this at the reunion, but it didn't get aired. When I pulled up to Meredith's shop, production came to me. They said, okay, we're going to play this like you've never been here before. And I said, well, I've been here before. I've been here with Jen. And they were like, it doesn't matter. That's not how we're going to play it. We're going to play it like it's your first time here. They did not air that it's the honest freaking truth. I'll sit here and I'll take it, and people call me a liar, and that's what happened. Now, I do believe her on that one, and I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. I believe her on that one. Your castmates have said this is the best season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City ever. Why do you think they struggle to give you any credit for that, child? We already know they don't want to credit her. I don't know, honestly. They say I had nothing to do with it. They can say that because Jen is gone. They say it's because their relationships were better, whatever. But at the end of the day, they know the truth. Yeah, that's true. It is you, Monica. I'm going to give you that, girl. It's you. At the reunion, Andy asked Heather whether the forgiveness she's asking for lying about the black eye should be applied to you. She said she couldn't answer that. What would your answer be? Could you forgive you? I would forgive me. I feel like I have to say that, though, because obviously I'm going to forgive myself. But yeah, the fact that Heather said I can't answer that is ridiculous. Heather literally was blaming a very serious allegation. Child, we already talked about that. I guess my response to that would be those women all apologized. Heather did say sorry for the black eye a lot at the reunion. It felt like that was your moment to do the same. Look, here's the thing. People are going to see it one way and I'm going to see it the other way. The reality that I'm doing right now is, yes, I would like to apologize, but I don't want to give an apology when it's not ready to be received. It was very easy for Heather to apologize. She had people going over to the couch and hugging her. Why wouldn't you be able to apologize in that situation? She was in a safe space to apologize where she was being heard and it was being received. If I were to have tried to apologize, it wouldn't have been accepted that way. I say try. Okay. Y'all. Let me read a couple of comments. Andre said, I think she's just laser focused on getting out what she wants. She's not listening to the questions. Right. She just wants to say certain things. Now, not slow, a narcissist, a liar, but they make good TV. She will continue to behave this way, and people argue about whether they love or hate her. Everyone will just watch her lie. So here's the thing right here. And then I'm done with it after this. I'm done. Busy, you still here? I thought you would have clicked off by now. Evie said, I'm confused. We mad that she had an online burn book and got caught. Well, I've already explained that it's more than that, but if you don't see it that way, you know, it is what it is. Here's what I'm going to say. Apologies are not easy because generally you are apologizing to somebody that you have done something to, generally. So apologies are not easy, and they're not always in a safe space. They're not always in a comfortable environment, and they're not always going to be well received. You apologize because you acknowledge that I did something to you that made you feel a way, whether it was your intent or not. Now, do I think that Monica should apologize if she doesn't mean it? No, of course not. But you literally said in the interview that you were sorry, that it wasn't your intent, that you didn't mean for it to go, for them to feel any kind of way about that. You also said at the reunion that you didn't that it was never about them. It was only about Jen. And that's why you don't understand why they're upset. So it seems to me that if you can acknowledge that, then you could have acknowledged and said, I apologize that what we did, because again, I do believe it was a we and not a her. I apologize that what we did made you feel this way, especially since you felt like it was going to always come out. You said you felt like it was going to always come out. So it doesn't make sense to me. Sorry, y'all. It doesn't make sense to me that if you always felt like it was going to come out, then girl, you should have been ready for this conversation. And a lot of times we do things with quote unquote the right intention, and it's not received that way. I mean, I've had to do it before. I mean, I think we all can say that we've had to apologize for something that we didn't mean for it to make the person feel the way they felt, but they did. And you don't have to apologize for doing it, because if you still meant to do it because you were going after Jen Shah and you felt like Jen Shah deserved what y'all were giving her, you ain't got to apologize for making the page. But if you did not understand, you didn't mean to hurt those women, and they were a casualty of your war and they got hit with some stray bullets, you owe them that. Would it have been automatically received? Maybe not. How many people in here have ever given an apology and the person automatically was like, okay? There are times when people apologize and you don't receive it. I mean, I've had people apologize to me and I've had to be like, all right, because I'm not in a place to receive it. But you don't apologize because you expect it to be received. You apologize because you realize, damn, I hurt you and I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to hurt you that way. Sometimes people make a joke and they don't mean anything by it. But when I'm like, yo, that wasn't funny, like, oh, my bad. And I might still be pissed off. And I might stay pissed off because I still feel some kind of way. But ultimately, if they know they didn't mean it that way, I'll eventually get over it. But I'm still mad right now. So yeah, at the reunion, them women were fired up and ready to go because that's the first time they had seen each other. That's the first time they had seen each other since Bermuda. They had not been together since Bermuda. I think they were at BravoCon, but of course, you know, they didn't hang out with Monica at BravoCon. And then the reunion, I think, was like 2 weeks after BravoCon or something like that. So yeah, they were pissed off. They were fired up. They were ready to go. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. I mean, I can't tell nobody, but if you can acknowledge that you did something and you didn't mean for it to go the way it went and it made them people feel some kind of way, then you can acknowledge and you can apologize. Now, that's my 2 cents on that. This is why I don't like forced apologies. Exactly, Budget. I don't like forced apologies either. And I don't think she should have been forced to apologize. But I'm just listening to her comments and I'm hearing her say, hey, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, child, let's get into part 2 of this. So Carolyn Manzo, for those who don't know who Carolyn Manzo is formerly of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. She was on the first, 4 or 5 seasons of the show. I'm only in season 3. But I think somebody told me that she leaves after season 4, I think. But she's one of the OGs of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Now, Carolyn Manzo, she is probably the anti-housewife. Like, she was never the glamour housewife. She was never the, she was the, I'm a housewife and proud of it. I mean, she's that burly Italian that'll fight you. She don't care, all of those things. Well, y'all know that Bravo has been doing this ultimate girls trip thing where they bring back housewives from over the different franchises. They send them somewhere for 2 weeks. Well, really, they send them somewhere for a week. They film it. And then they make a season out of it. They make about 8 or 9 episodes out of it. Yeah. That's why I don't like. Oh, I'm looking at you, Giselle, demanding folks apologize. Right. Caroline is mean. I like Carolyn. I like her. I didn't think I was gonna like her, but I really do like her. I don't think she's mean. I think she's direct. I think she's no nonsense. And I just think she never played the housewife game. And somebody say that's good, somebody say that's bad. But I like Carolyn. I do. With that being said, there was the Ultimate Girls Trip last year. I think they filmed it, not even last year. I think in 2022, they filmed it. They went in Morocco. Brandy Glanville was there. Eva Marcel, Phaedra, Caroline, and I honestly don't know who them other three women were. I saw the picture of the cast. I don't know who them other three women were. They're probably from the Orange County or New York because I don't recognize them. They from franchises I don't watch. But they went to Morocco. Like the night before they were done filming, Carolyn Manzo flew home. Brandy was sent home. And the rumor has always been that there was some sort of inappropriate contact between Brandy and Caroline. Carolyn accused Brandy of, sexually harassing her, touching her inappropriately, touching her without consent. And there has always been a black cloud over that season. That season has still not come out. They said it might never come out because of potential lawsuits. Well, today is the day. The potential turned into a lawsuit. And once again, shout out to Tracy for getting a copy of this lawsuit, honey. Shout out to Tracy for getting the lawsuit. Okay. I don't know what I would do without Tracy, you guys. And that's real talk. Okay. So let's pull it up and we're going to read through it. We're going to see exactly what Carolyn is accusing. And what's interesting is that she is not suing Brandy Glanville, who she alleged was the one that violated her. She is suing Peacock, NBC Universal, yada, yada, yada. Let's pull up this lawsuit. Let's pull it up. They're only there for a week. Yeah, they're only there for like a week. They stretch it out though, maybe 7, but they stretch it out, child. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Again, I had this pulled up. I don't know where it went. I think when I was trying to close tabs, I probably closed the wrong tabs. All right, here we go. Tracy is the best. Absolutely. All right, so today, Carolyn Manzo actually filed a lawsuit. She filed it today, and we're going to read through what she filed. And now this one is a long one, too. We ain't going to read every word and every sentence, but let's look. Here's who she is filing. Bravo Media, LLC, Forest Productions, Incorporated, Warner Brothers Entertainment, Incorporated, NBC Universal Media, LLC, Shed Media, and Peacock TV, LLC. Child, she's suing every damn body, okay? Carolyn Manzo and against the plaintiff. So here is what Carolyn is saying happened. Carolyn Manzo and blah, 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 blah. It's just saying who she filed, who she's suing. Okay. Defendants include including Bravo, regularly ply the Housewives cast with alcohol, cause them to become severely intoxicated, and then direct, encourage, and or allow them to sexually harass other cast members because it's good for ratings. Plaintiff Caroline Manzo is a victim of those harmful actions. This lawsuit seeks to hold defendants accountable for their unlawful conduct and hopefully discourage defendants from continuing to sacrifice the cast members' safety for their own ratings and profits. Now, you guys do remember, that was part of the article we read where former people on the show said that. Now, here are some tweets that come directly from Brandy Glanville that were included in the lawsuit. And Brandy says, I'm completely innocent. The producers ask you to do something, and then you get in trouble for it. The producers need to follow the rules. Producers may not shove the alcohol down our throats, but they sure do encourage it, even in Morocco during the day where it's illegal to drink. Oh, girl, you just snitching. This is character assassination. I am effing innocent. Producer told Marco to dance. This is the other lawsuit. Remember from Ultimate Girls Trip Up, one of the waiters is suing Bravo, saying that he was sexually harassed. And here's Brandy saying the producer told Marco to dance. JP, they had pretty sure told me to rip his shirt off. That is the only time I had interaction with Marco. I was doing what I was told. All right, so here's the introduction. Ciao. Okay. Ooh, hold on. Oh, Lord. Okay. Here's the introduction. Since its inception in the early 90s, reality television has been linked to negative effects on participants' safety, emotional health, and welfare. For example, there have been at least 38 unalivings stemming from actions and inactions by producers and networks of reality television shows. Despite this knowledge, reality television producers and networks care more about their ratings and advertising revenue than they do about the safety of the show's participants. A horrific example. Oh, okay. Okay. Bravo Network. Oh my goodness. They talk about Taylor Armstrong's husband who unalived himself because, of course, it was exposed on the show that he was abusing his wife. Bravo executives debated whether or not to televise the season, ultimately decided to air it. Bravo's decision and the subsequent viewing statistics have proven that audiences are drawn to real-life drama even in the aftermath of a unaliving. The second season drew in 2.2 million viewers, 42% more viewers than the first season, making it the highest rated Real Housewives series and Bravo's most popular show at that time. The Real Housewives is an American reality show. Okay, I'm about to sit here and read y'all the whole 11 different series. Real Housewives New Jersey, 4th installment. Original cast included the plaintiff. She left the series after its 5th season. Okay, so she left after the 5th season in 2014. Since then, the defendants have produced a spin-off series called The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, which is filmed in different locations throughout the world. In 2023, defendants hired Ms. Manzo to appear in the 4th season, which took place in Marrakesh, Morocco. One of the other cast members to participate in this series with Ms. Manzo is a woman by the name of Brandy Glanville. Ms. Glanville appeared in the 2nd through 5th season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Bravo fired Ms. Glanville after their 5th season. However, Ms. Glanville continued to make guest appearances on the show's 6th, 9th, and 10th seasons. In 2022, defendants hired Ms. Glanville for season 2 of Ultimate Girls Trip, which took place in the Berkshires in Massachusetts. It was Ms. Glanville who went on Ultimate Girls Trip in Morocco and sexually abused Ms. Manzo. Defendants had overwhelming prior notice of Ms. Glanville's prior deviant sexual proclivities, good Lord, and her harassing conduct. However, despite this knowledge, defendants wrongfully continued to hire Glanville for their shows. Defendants allowed, condoned, and even encouraged Ms. Glanville's sexual, aggressive, and offensive conduct on other shows. Defendants profited from Ms. Glanville's offensive and harassing, even encouraged her behavior. Defendants never should have hired Ms. Glanville to participate in Ultimate Girls Trip because they knew that she tended to harass others. Just add the word sexually in front of every time I say harass or behavior. Yeah, that's what they keep saying. Defendants even encouraged Ms. Glanville to become drunk on the set so that she could be more likely to commit outrageous and harassing acts, therefore helping defendants' ratings without regard to the rights and safety of those around her. Child. Okay. So then they talk about who Carolyn Manzo is. She began her career with the defendants as part of the main cast on the premiere, Real Housewives New Jersey. We know that. Okay. It's explaining how all these people are connected, why she's so all these different people. So it's talking about what the connection to Peacock and Shed Media and blah, blah, blah. Glanville was an employee. Okay. It's saying that both of them were employees of these companies. So for the purposes of the story, for the narrative, they were both employees. Okay. Okay. I want to get to the actual allegations, y'all. So that's why this is just, y'all know how they got to go through all this, child. The case involves acts of SA and assault committed by Glanville against Manzo, which was caused by and allowed to happen by the defendants. Around December 2022, Manzo signed a contract and agreed with the defendants to return to reality television and appear on Bravo Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 4, filming in Morocco. Defendants supposedly required a pre-filming class where sexual harassment training was discussed. Upon information and belief, defendants did not require Glanville to attend this class. They ain't make her go to the class? Okay. All right. They got a screenshot. Okay. When defendants sent plaintiff documents to be signed in order to be paid, they sent them from, okay. They still talking about all these people they suing and how they connected. Okay. Child. Okay. Then they talk about the jurisdiction and venue. Why this is the jurisdiction? Let's keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Okay. Okay. They already said all of that. Right. I want to get to her narrative, her story of what happened. That's what I'm trying to get to. Child, they suing so many people, they got to go over the jurisdiction for everything. All right, here we go. A brief chronological list of events and salient facts are as follows. On Sunday, January 22nd of 2023, at approximately 9 a.m., Manzo and several members of the cast and defendant, the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2, gathered in the lobby of the Four Seasons Hotel in Casablanca, Morocco. The cast waited in the lobby at the Four Seasons Hotel and then boarded vans to take them to a private villas to meet up with the rest of the castmates, and to where they will be staying for the duration of filming the show. On Sunday, January the 22nd, upon arriving at the villa, Manzo greeted her castmates once more, and then each of the cast members proceeded to choose their rooms. Once rooms were chosen, Manzo unpacked, got settled into her room, and met her castmates for drinks by the pool area at the villa. Manzo and her castmates then proceeded to attend a lunch set up on the terrace by the pool, where they were tutored by a local resident on basic customs and manners of Moroccan people. That evening, Manzo and her castmates had dinner at the Mandarin Orient Hotel and then returned to their rooms for the night. Day 2, Monday morning, Manzo met castmates for breakfast. After breakfast, Manzo and her castmates were taken to the soap the souk, excuse me, or the market to shop. After that, Manzo and her castmates had lunch at a local Moroccan restaurant and then headed back to the villa to freshen up before girls' night, an out-of-town planned by Real Housewife of Atlanta, Eva Marcel. On Tuesday morning, Manzo and castmates started the day with traditional Moroccan breakfast at the villa. On Tuesday afternoon, the castmates again went to the souk, where they were to meet with a local female Moroccan chef at the spice shop. Manzo and castmates shopped for ingredients to cook a traditional Moroccan meal at the chef's home. Tuesday afternoon, the chef's home, Glanville's behavior became crude, rude, disrespectful, and sexually harassing. Glanville began making lewd gestures and sexual comments. In one of her comments, Glanville compared a vegetable to a penis, stating, "That pepper looks like a dick." Also, peeling a strawberry with a potato peeler, and the chef of the house tried to explain that the peeler was not to peel a strawberry. Glanville yelled at the woman in her own home as follows and said, "I know, bitch. That's what I want to do." Manzo objected to Glanville's offensive sexual comments. Manzo told Glanville that her behavior is disrespectful for this chef in her own home was appalling. I can hear Carolyn saying that. Manzo further stated Glanville's sexually offensive behavior cast Americans and American women in a derogatory light. I can hear her saying all of this. I can hear Brandy saying this, and I can hear her saying that. Glanville then yelled at Manzo, "Shut up! This is my vacation, bitch. I'll do what the fuck I want." I can hear her saying all of these things. On Tuesday evening, January the 24th, Manzo and the castmates went back to the villa where they would be filming an evening shoot and were to be entertained by a belly dancer and enjoy a festive Moroccan dinner. Manzo walked on the set and into the film shoot. Manzo made a conscious effort to be kind to Glanville in order to move past the argument between them. While on set, Manzo approached the bar to have a drink. Immediately, Manzo noticed that the castmates were drinking and some castmates appeared intoxicated. Throughout the trip, the other housewives would frequently comment to Manzo that she had large breasts. Cast members asked Manzo, "Are they real or fake?" That's not funny. Where do they do that at? You just walk up to people and be like, "Girl, are those real? Those real? Where they do that at?" Later that evening, Manzo and her castmates retreated to a couch near the bar to watch a snake handler. Clearly intoxicated, Glanville walked over to Manzo, spread Manzo's legs, and leaned into Manzo and then laid her head on Manzo's inner thigh. Manzo pulled away and moved to the end of the couch. Manzo is 5 foot tall in height compared to Glanville, who's close to 6 feet. Exerting her dominance over Manzo, Glanville followed Manzo and sat right next to her on the couch and proceeded to kiss her with a closed mouth. Glanville then kissed Manzo again. Manzo was very uncomfortable. Glanville then proceeded to mount Manzo on the couch, holding her down with her body, forcibly squeezed Manzo's cheeks together, and thrust her tongue in her mouth while humping her. Manzo tried to push Glanville off of her body. However, Glanville was restraining Manzo with her much greater weight, size, and strength and was unable to free herself. Eventually, Manzo was finally able to break free from Glanville. Manzo, distraught, scared, and confused, got her from the couch. She went over to hold one of the snakes in order to distract herself from the assault that had just... Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm being silly tonight. Let me read through this because I'm just picturing. Manzo tried to remain calm as she could, all the while trying to comprehend what had just happened. When Manzo was 7 years old, she was sexually assaulted. Glanville's assault made all of those dormant and horrific memories immediately resurface. Manzo again felt like she was 7 years old and began to relive her previous assault. In the context of this incident, she was in a state of shock. Manzo, overcome and distraught, then went to the bathroom to wash her hands. Brandy, Gretchen Rossi from the Real Housewives of New York, Alex McCord from the Real Housewives of New York, and Carolyn Manzo walked into the bathroom at the same time. As Manzo stood at the sink washing her hands, Glanville entered the bathroom and came behind Manzo and forced her vagina against Manzo's buttocks, breast against Manzo's back, wrapped her long arms around Manzo, forcibly restraining her, and began washing her hands with Manzo's hands intertwined. Immediately, Manzo tried to exit the bathroom. The bathroom door was locked. Glanville pinned Manzo's body against the door. Glanville pressed her breast and vagina against Manzo. Manzo tried to unlock the door but could not get out. Glanville repeatedly hit Manzo's hand away from the door lock. Glanville then reached around Manzo's body and groped and grabbed and forcibly fondled Manzo's vagina and breast. At the same time, Glanville pushed her face into Manzo's neck in order to kiss her. From inside the bathroom, Manzo cried, "Help, help, help, help," but no one ever came. Defendant's producers are listening to the interaction on audio and even sent one of them to the bathroom door to investigate, but he never opened the door or took any other action to intervene and stop the assault. Manzo, visibly shaken, was finally let out of the bathroom after a housewife of New York, Alex McCord, saw what was happening and unlocked the bathroom door so Manzo could leave. After the assault, Manzo, clearly shaken, tried to gather herself together, all the while thinking to herself, "You are here to do your job," and proceeded to the dining room for dinner. Fuck this job. What? What? At the dinner table, as Manzo was trying to regain her composure, defendant's employee, Glanville, screamed across the table to a crew member producer named Laser, a married man, "I want to F you." Yeah, this is crazy as fuck. Manzo proceeded to get up from the table to use the bathroom once again. Glanville tried to go to the bathroom twice that night with Manzo. Glanville said, "I'm going with you. You've had too much to drink." Manzo stated she was not intoxicated, that she was fine. Glanville started massaging Manzo's breast. When did she get close enough to you to touch your breast again? She started massaging Manzo's breast, and Manzo objected, telling Glanville, "I think it's time for you to leave." Manzo stated, "I got abused." At one point, Eva, another cast member, said Brandy is over accosting her. She wants to stop, referring to Manzo. She wants it to stop. Defendants continued filming plaintiff throughout, even though she was in distress from the assaults. On Tuesday evening, after the assault, Manzo returned to her villa and immediately called and texted her husband and children to tell them about what had occurred. Manzo was visited by two production heads from defendants, Elisa Shannon and Shane Humphrey. Immediately, they asked what happened in the bathroom. Manzo began to sob and explain what happened. Manzo also requested not to be left alone with Glanville again. Manzo was scared for her safety and well-being. On day 4 in the morning, Manzo received a text from Glanville saying, "I'm sorry I made you feel uncomfortable." Manzo did not respond. On Wednesday, January the 25th, Manzo and her castmates were scheduled to film in the Moroccan desert. Manzo and her castmates proceeded to travel to the desert without Glanville, who arrived many hours later. During the ride to the desert, Manzo was extremely quiet, reflecting on the assault, and began crying. One of the producers in the van handed her a tissue. During the afternoon, Manzo and her castmates proceeded to take a yoga class, eat lunch, and have a camel ride followed by dinner. Despite her request that she not have to be in Glanville's presence, no, you said you didn't want to be left alone with her. You didn't say you didn't want to be around her. Right here it says, hold on, let me go back. You said you didn't want to be alone with her. Anyway, it don't matter. I just want to be clear that that's what I read. Glanville was at lunch with Manzo. Additionally, Glanville was also at the camel ride with Manzo, and this made Manzo extremely uncomfortable. After the camel ride, Manzo noticed that Glanville complaining, telling the other castmates that Manzo had accused her of SA. Manzo sat at dinner that evening, shaking uncontrollably with severe emotional distress due to the fact that production would be addressing the group regarding Glanville's behavior. Manzo and her castmates spent the night in the desert. Manzo was advised that Glanville was being removed from the desert and the villa property immediately and would be staying at a hotel nearby. During this time, housewife of New York, Alex McCord, who was a psychologist, tried to help Manzo cope with her emotional distress. Defendant employees Lisa Shannon and Shane Humphrey asked Manzo to meet with Glanville. They told Manzo that the acts committed by Glanville were just her way of showing love. Despite that fact, Manzo was so emotionally distraught, and despite that fact, Manzo asked not to be around Glanville. The defendant still wanted Manzo to meet with Glanville. Defendants were more focused on the continuation of the show rather than the health and well-being of Manzo. Day 5. Manzo returned to the villa and was called by investigators from NBC. Manzo was expected to attend a day spa at the villa with the others, but was so distraught she did not take any part in the activities that day. She then Manzo was then reminded by defendants that filming the itinerary that she was scheduled to cook a meal for her castmates. Manzo began prepping for the meal. She felt overwhelmed and wanted to address the situation regarding Glanville so they could all move forward. Housewives of Atlanta, Phaedra Parks, and Eva Marceau began interrogating Manzo, which made her feel very uncomfortable. Manzo was unable to cook due to her emotional distress, which was compounded by Phaedra and Eva's hostility. Ooh. Manzo went back to her room. She received text messages from some of the housewives that they were going to visit Glanville at her hotel a half an hour away. It is believed that defendants were filming the other housewives going to visit Glanville. Manzo was disgusted at how Glanville's sexual assault and its aftermath was being used for entertainment purposes. Additionally, and unbelievably, that night, defendants allowed Glanville to spend time with the other housewives, thereby placing them at risk of being harassed or assaulted by Glanville. Defendants had a complete lack of care for the rights and safety of others. Moreover, defendants continued to film Manzo and record her experience in order to profit from the entertainment of her assault. Oh, gosh. Additionally, defendants producers Lisa Shannon and Shanae Humphrey tried to convince Manzo to meet up with Glanville even after she was so visibly distraught. Manzo could not bear the torture perpetuated by defendants and Glanville anymore, and on Friday, January the 28th, she flew home. Defendants did not stop filming Manzo even all the way to the airport to the very last opportunity. Defendants filmed Manzo in the hopes of gathering more drama to increase their ratings, and which was in retaliation for plaintiffs' complaints. In addition to the acts stated above, Glanville committed the following further acts of harassment and abuse against Manzo: groping her breasts, placing herself directly against her genitals, forcibly, everything they described the child. And then it just talks about the punitive damages. And then it goes into incidents where Brandy had been accused of these types of things before. I'm just going to read a few of these and then I'm going to stop. Previously, during season 2 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Glanville was sexually harassing towards her classmates. I mean, I keep saying classmates or castmates. Previously, during Defendant Bravo's The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 2, episode 17, at the 8-minute mark, Glanville did sexually harass Adrienne Moloff by trying to make out with her without her consent. She told her husband, I tried to make out with your wife, but I don't think she wanted to. Maloff's husband told Glanville, I wouldn't want you kissing my wife. And there's a screenshot, I guess, from that scene. Also, during season 2, episode 17, at the 29-minute mark, Glanville did harass housewife Lisa Vanderpump's husband by hugging and pawing at him, with Lisa Vanderpump telling Glanville, get off my husband. Child, I wonder what intern they had watch all of the seasons of the Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, the Housewives of Beverly Hills, just so they could write this down, child. Previously, during season 4, episode 6, at the 29:53-minute mark, Glanville did racially discriminate against Housewives Beverly Joyce Gerald, telling her, you're a black person, as if this were some sort of reason why she did not or could not swim. Child, we remember that. And about her getting her hair wet. We remember that. Beverly Hills season 4, episode 9, at the 31-minute mark, Glanville did racially discriminate against Joyce Gerald, saying to a bartender, fill this up before I order a Puerto Rican. I don't know about that one, but maybe I have to see it in context. Season 4, episode 7, at the 14-minute mark, Glanville did harass unwilling housewife Carlton Elizabeth, saying, I'm going to molest you, while trying to pull Carlton into bed with her. Carlton pulled herself away from Glanville and said, get off, go to bed. Season 5, episode 7, at the 34-minute mark, she harassed Lisa Vanderpump, saying, do you want me to eat your ussy? While at the gathering with Lisa Vanderpump rejected her offer. Season 5, episode 8, at the 40-minute mark, Glanville did sexually harass Yolanda Hadid's husband, David, saying, why do you look like you're finger banging, as Yolanda's husbands played guitar for the castmates at a house party? Season 5, episode 17, she attempted to force a kiss on Lisa Vanderpump as Lisa was pleading, no, 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 I don't want to do that, and leave me alone. You see a screenshot of it. Then they talk about what happened at Bluestone Manor, allegedly. Ultimate Girls Trip season 2, episode 2, at the 1-minute mark. Just minutes into the episode, Glanville did harass her castmates Eva Marcel, and Phaedra Parks. We are 3 scorpions. Let's get naked. Season 2 of Ultimate Girls Trip, episode 4. Glanville did say, I'm bisexual, as she hugs Eva Marceau, making her castmate extremely uncomfortable. Ultimate Girls Trip, season 2, episode 4. Marco Vega was unwillingly, mentally, physically, and sexually assaulted by Glanville. She ripped off his shirt, leaving him shirtless and humiliated in front of the other castmates, telling him, earn your money, Marco, do something. In season 2 of Ultimate Girls Trip, episode 6, Glanville began making harassing advances, attempts at kissing housewife Vicky Galvinson, whatever, despite her repeatedly asking Glanville to stop. Season 2, episode 6. She assaulted Vicky Gunvalson by performing an unwanted lap dance. All the while, Glanville's dress rolled up her leg with her panties and buttocks in clear view. Vicky telling Glanville, I don't want a lap dance. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want it. No, no, no. Okay. Okay. All right, that's pretty much the gist of it, you guys. That's the whole point, Sweet Pea. Brandy has been inappropriate for years, and ain't nobody slaughter. Okay, listen. So what Caroline is saying is, listen, y'all know this about her, and y'all keep hiring her, which means that you are condoning the behavior. You're not doing anything about it. I don't understand why Brandy is not named defendant. She should be added to the complaint. Well, because what Caroline's argument is that Bravo continued to hire her knowing that she was this person. Ultimately, I'm going to tell you the short version of the story. Brandy ain't got no money. It's a civil lawsuit. We know that the only remedy in a civil lawsuit is money. Brandy ain't got none. So they're going to sue Bravo Universal because that's where the money resides. Where the money resides, where the money resides. Give me shelter. And that's what I don't understand. I'm not doing this with you, Jonathan. I don't understand why they have not set, because this has been a year, which makes me feel like they were trying to settle and maybe they just couldn't agree on a number, but this ain't looking good. I mean, to be honest with you, what was described in the bathroom is bad. And if they had a camera in that bathroom and they got all of that on tape, but that's bad. I mean, this is more than just, unwanted touching or whatever. But if she forced her to kiss her and then she leaned up against her and was touching her breast and wouldn't let her out of the bathroom, like that was bad. That was bad. Well, you said I thought she could only sue based off of what happened to her. She is. But she's giving examples of Brandy's behavior because, again, remember, she's suing Bravo for providing an unsafe working environment. And what she's saying is these are all of the reasons why you knew that Brandy Glanville had a history of being sexual, had a history of doing these things, and you should not have given her this platform. That's the argument. She's not saying, so this isn't a class action suit, Jonathan. She's suing Bravo. That's like you suing your employer, saying that your employer subjected you to a racist environment. And in your complaint, you list all of the other times that this particular employee was racist to other people. They don't have to sue, but you're saying, I saw him make a racial comment at this person and that person and that person. And here's when it happened. And here's what was said, which means that all of these things should have let the bosses know this person was a racist and it is creating an unsafe working environment. And here's the example. It just so happens that it's a reality show. So they have all of the examples on tape. So she's saying on this season, this episode, at this minute mark, this was done. This was done. This was done. You know what I mean? We just have it on tape. So that's why they listed it like that. Right. And the butler from the Real Housewives of Ultimate Girls Trip, he has filed a lawsuit. I never liked Brandy Glanville. She's part of the reason why I stopped watching, because I watched the first 2 seasons of Housewives and then I stopped watching it. My favorite housewife from season 1 was Adrienne Muluf. I can never say her name. But I knew the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was different from the first season because that woman, her family owned a whole casino in Vegas, and they flew private from LA to Vegas to go to the opening of her family's casino. I knew it was different then. I said, "Oh, this ain't the same. This Housewives ain't the same." Okay, this woman owned a whole casino. Her husband, even though her husband didn't get along, her husband was a top plastic surgeon. Like, I'm like, these ladies ain't the same. Didn't Brandy and Denise Richards have a thing? It came up on the show. Remember, that was one of the things that Brandy accused Denise of them having a thing. Denise said it didn't happen. Brandy said it did. I kind of think it did. Yeah. Thank you, Kenya. Did El Teddy start yet, y'all? All right. 8:30. Oh, okay. I was gonna send y'all over there, but I ain't about to sit here and talk for another 20 minutes. I've been talking for almost 2 hours. I'm done. But yeah, so those are the updates in the Bravo universe, you guys. I'm not it Bravo should have settled with Carolyn. I don't know what they were thinking, because this ain't a good look. They should have settled with that woman. I don't know what they were thinking, but that ain't sounding good. And again, if what Carolyn is describing, that don't sound good. It don't sound good at all. And anybody who know Carolyn knows she don't play them kind of games. Like, you might get away with that stuff with, the Kyle Richards, the Eva Marceaus, whatever. But mm-mm. Okay, can you really be? Don't forget to give Tracy my other super chat. What other super chat? I'm sorry, baby, I didn't see. I would. You know what? I wasn't on the screen. Hold on. Okay, give it to Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, I got you, Tracy. I got you, boo. I got you. So that's for Tracy. My bad. I didn't see it. Thank you for telling me, because I didn't see it. I wasn't on screen a lot of the time I was reading, so I didn't see the other super chat. My bad. My bad. My bad. But I will. Thank you. I will send it right on over to Tracy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Tracy said yes for the coins. Am I feeling better? I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that question, because like, I don't have the headache anymore. Like, I do feel better like that, but I'm just tired. I'm just tired. So, and I think I might have figured out what's going on, but I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna wait and see. And I know I'm not pregnant. But yeah. Oh Lord. I can't do YouTube, so I'm here to support Really Be. Well, I appreciate you, my love. Y'all know what I'm gonna have to do. I'm about to turn on the air conditioner. Y'all know it got to 80 degrees today. I think 80 something degrees today. It is hot in my house. You see, I done turned the ceiling fan on, but it ain't working. I am hot. Like, I'm sweating. I am hot. I gotta turn the air conditioner on for a few minutes. The thermostat say it's like 78 degrees in my house. And I can't open the windows because it's hot outside. Like, I had the door open earlier today, but it's hot outside. Like, it's humid hot. It's not like, it's like that humidity. It's humid hot. Child. Yes. Is Busy still in the bushes? He probably gone. I stopped talking about Monica. He probably gone. You thought that's why I got off live last night? It's in the 70s in Georgia. Yes, it was in the 80s. Not I got pregnant on my trip to LA. Why I got off live yesterday? What that? No. It's hot there too, little baby. Now my AC is always on. Oh Lord. Why are you sitting in the heat? Because I mean, because I just haven't gotten up yet. When I get up, I'm about to turn it. I tried to turn on the ceiling fan, but that ain't helping. So I'm about to I'm about to turn as soon as I get off here. I'm about to literally get off here now. It's 45 degrees in New York, child. It was 80 when I after I woke up from my nap, I went out to go get me something to eat because I didn't feel like cooking. And when I got in my car, my thermostat was like 80, it was like 81 degrees. Turn the heat down. The heat is down. But it's hot. Like it's hot in my house. My heat stay on 70. It's already down. Oh, but I know. Oh, you mean like turn it down to like 65 or something? For right now, I need to knock off the heat, and then I'll probably turn it down. I just need to knock off the heat though. I just need to knock that heat out. Right. Well, remember last Friday it was a whole snowstorm with 3 inches of snow on the ground. Like crazy. You know what, Jonathan? You know what? That's why your girl Nene ain't never coming back to Bravo. Now what? Since you want to talk about people being old. Sir, you're older than me. Mm-hmm. 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 Tiana Taylor said cut off the utilities. Child, I hate to see it. I really hate to see that their situation is continuing to dissolve. I hate it. 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 But listen, I can't. See, this that shit I've been talking about. I'm gonna have to go check it out. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I'm talking real crazy to your husband and damn. And damn. All right, y'all. Let me get off of here. El Teddy is going live at 8:30, so you guys make sure y'all head on over there. At 8:30 for Ranium, not for Silly Saturdays, Friday edition. Okay, and I'm going to try to get some reviews out. That's what I'm gonna try to get done. Okay. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace.